Welcome back. Now it's time to touch on technology, as today's the day when Google gets smart. Well, the $200 billion titan of the internet is starting a new decade with an all-new enterprise, plunging headfirst into mobile phone technology. Well, it's scheduled an announcement later on today, and Jennifer Joan is here to preview what they will say. Jennifer.
Hi there, Francine. Well, since Google introduced its Android mobile phone operating system in 2008, there have been rumors swirling around that it might be introducing its very own smartphone. And with Google due to give an Android press briefing later today, speculation has reached fever pitch that this event will mark the unveiling of Google's first smartphone. Now, a lot still has to be confirmed, but here's what we've learned so far from Google and from tech industry blogs.
I'm Rachel.
Deckard. Well, what we know is that Google's first smartphone has been dubbed Nexus One after the replicants in Ridley Scott's sci-fi film Blade Runner. It's a touchscreen device designed by Taiwanese handset maker HTC. The phone will run on Google's Android operating system, which is already featured in phones such as T-Mobile's G1 and Motorola's Droid. According to a posting on its blog last month, we also know that Google has doled out its Android phone to employees for testing, a process they call dog fooding, from eating your own dog food. Now, moving on to what we probably know, that dog food is pretty palatable. The blog TechCrunch reports that Nexus One is thinner than Apple's iPhone, has a super resolution touchscreen, and 2 mics, including one on the back of the phone to help cut down background noise. Meanwhile, citing leaked documents, another technology blog, Gizmodo, says the Nexus One will cost $530 for an unlocked version. That means that unlike Apple's iPhone, for example, it will not be tied to any specific carrier, so consumers can choose their own provider for wireless service. A locked version would also be available at $180 for a 2-year contract with T-Mobile.
So that's the biggest difference Google's smartphone will offer, the ability for users to choose their own wireless carriers. Now, analysts say Google's strategy could well push the Nexus One ahead of Apple's iPhone.
Apple, I think, is perhaps in the steady state 2012 and beyond 15% market share by revenues. And I think Google by that time, 2012 and beyond, is probably north of that. I think Google will have a bigger impact on the cellular phone industry, the smartphone industry, than Apple will. And the reason for that is the popularity and the affordability of Google's applications, plus Google's unique business model. There is no other player who is actually financing the distribution of content via advertising.
And Google will be holding its news briefing from its headquarters in Mountain View, California at 10 a.m. local time today. That's 6 p.m. London time.